Welcome everyone to the official demo of the RiseGen Leads platform as of January 2026. So as you can see here, RiseGen Leads, we are an exclusive insurance lead vendor. We provide leads for both final expense and Medicare. Now I'll dive into the lead types and pricing and stuff later on in this demo, but I wanted to mention up front three key differentiating factors between RiseGen and any other vendor you guys may have used in the past. The first one, probably being the most pertinent, is that we only offer a true 100% exclusive lead. What that means is that that lead is never shared with any other agent, any other agency, or any other company, and that lead is also never resold at any point in the lifespan of that lead. Second, here, we offer a true TCPA compliant lead. Everything is documented, all of our consent is documented, and we are a fully DNC compliant vendor as well, which means that every lead that we offer and generate to you guys is scrubbed through the federal do not call registry. So compliancy is of no concern. The third metric, which is probably the most important when it comes to actually converting the leads, is that we offer a true real-time lead model. Now, what that means is when those prospects are going online and they're submitting an insurance quote request, that information is submitted to you in real time right into your dashboard. It's instantaneous. So the speed to contact, which is arguably the most important KPI or key performance indicator that agents and agencies need to track when it comes to converting their lead, we ensure that you have access to the highest quality lead on the market by ensuring that your speed to contact can be instantaneous, because when that prospect goes online and they are in the buying mindset, you are getting access to that lead instantly. Not only do we send it to your dashboard here at RiseGen Leads, but we also notify you via email and SMS. Now, as we get into the demo here, if you look at the top of the page on the header, you'll see our logo in the upper left-hand corner. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see our pricing page. I want to mention here that we are a fully subscription-free based model. So when you sign up for an account, it does not cost you anything. There is no fees, there is no hidden fees, and there is no shared commission of any type. The only time that you pay for anything is when you are purchasing leads. So effectively, the only cost that you have is your cost per lead. The subscription to log in and create an account with us is completely free of charge. The second button you will see here is our scheduling demo option, which you can also see down here towards the middle of the page. You can schedule a free 30-minute demo with me directly to help with onboarding. Maybe there's some specific you have a certain business model that you want to kind of custom tailor some of the features for. Maybe you just have some questions overall that I don't cover in this demo. Either one of those three, feel free to schedule a free demo call for 30 minutes with me. And then you can also sign in and sign up here as normal. Now, when we start to scroll down, you'll see some of the highlights that I mentioned earlier: exclusive, compliant, and competitive. We also show you guys a live lead performance snapshot here. Now, this snapshot box you're seeing on the right side of the screen here emulates the same performance snapshot that we have embedded inside of your account. This is a way to not only audit your personal performance, but before you place your first order, you can audit our performance as a company by looking at our average contact rate for our leads, our standard delivery time for the first lead in any given order, the average cost per lead, as well as exclusivity, which, as I mentioned earlier, will always be 100%. Now, these metrics here that are being displayed, these are based from real orders from real users on both final expense and Medicare campaigns. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, there's tons of vendors. Why should I choose RiseGen Leads? Or why does anybody choose RiseGen Leads over some of the other competitors? Whether you're an agent or an agency or a call center, there's three typical reasons why agents would choose us. The first and foremost being, again, that we are 100% exclusive leads only, never shared, never recycled, and never resold. They're generated for you and only for you. We also offer the real-time lead model, which guarantees that you have instant delivery of every single lead when that prospect is in the buying mode. With that being said, we also are built for compliance. Express written consent for every single lead. We have documented every single clean opt-in record for every single lead. And again, we are fully TCPA and DNC compliant. Now, we offer two types of leads, like I mentioned. Here's kind of a quick overview. I'll dive into the what is included section here later on in this demo. But as you can see, final expense, we offer statewide and county specific. And for Medicare DSNP, which is DSNP, it stands for Dual Eligible Special Needs Plans, which is essentially a type of Medicare Advantage plan designed for people who qualify for both Medicare and Medicaid. I'll go over that a little more in this demo, but we offer both of those lead types, and again, on a statewide or county specific basis. Now, how does it work? Super simple process. We try to make it easy. We want the purchasing and recording and documentation of your leads to be the simplest part of your business. So in order to do that, we make a simple three-step process, which is number one, you choose your lead type. You want final expense, you want Medicare leads, what state or what counties. We have a secure checkout, so we're integrated with our preferred partner, which is Stripe. So all of our orders are processed through Stripe. Everything is encrypted. None of your payment information is stored on any of our servers. And then number three here, this third step in this process is the delivery. They're delivered to you in real time as these prospects are filling out their online request. Now we do have a special offer for your first order. You can get 10% off your first order of any lead type or any quantity, any volume, any location, any of those things. It's 10% off your first order, regardless of what you order. This is persisted in our database, so this is only eligible for your first order, but we do want to offer that for any of our new customers. And then if you look down here, like I mentioned in the beginning, we are a lead generation platform built specifically for independent insurance agents and final expense and senior markets. Now we have some captive agencies that we can also onboard as well. We can specifically generate leads of any type. So nobody is excluded from using our platform. And as I mentioned before, for compliancy purposes, all of our leads are generated via consumer opt-in and they're compliant with TCPA and applicable advertising platform policies. You can also see here on the right-hand side, pricing and packages is here, as well as scheduling a demo. And we do service agents nationwide in all 50 states. So now we'll get into the actual demo here. First and foremost, the pricing page. So if you click on pricing, it's going to bring you to our lead pricing section, which is not going to only show you the price, but what I think is more important is what is included with each lead. So we have three different tiers for final expense, both bronze, silver, and the third tier is platinum. Your bronze tier here is going to include the agent's or the prospect's full name, street address, city and state, their account phone number. Now I'll specify what that means. This lead is generated from Facebook and various other platforms online. So whatever number is registered with that account is a number that we display in your lead card. You also get the date of birth, the email, and the security word. Now the security word is comprised of a security question and a security answer. So our leads will see a question on this on the form they fill out that will say something to the effect of, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite hobby? What's your favorite restaurant? And then in that lead card, they will also provide the answer. So for example, the security word will say the question was asked, what is your favorite hobby? The lead asks or answers the question with music. So when you get that client on the phone, you are able to qualify yourself as a legitimate agent who is working that lead because you already have information beyond just their personal contact information. So that call, instead of saying, hey, Mr. Smith, I got your lead request here, you can say, hey, Mr. Smith, this is John. I have your insurance, your final expense insurance request that you had sent in a few moments ago where you had listed music as your favorite hobby. Does that sound familiar? And you just get a little bit of a competitive edge there. So any of those little nuances that we could have done to make sure that you guys have access to the highest quality and highest converting leads, we made sure to implement. With that being said, all of our leads are truly 100% exclusive. In addition to being imported here into your dashboard that you will see momentarily, we also do email and SMS delivery for our leads. And then upon request, we do Google Sheet and CRM delivery. Now, at the bottom of each tier, we show you the typical fill time for a typical order. Now, obviously, if you have a large order in a small location, that may take a little longer, and then vice versa. But those are typical fill times that we have calculated based on recent orders. Now our silver tier here for final expense, as you will see, includes everything in the bronze tier, but you get now a manually typed phone number. So this differentiates bronze to silver for a primary reason of typically this contact or this prospect or this lead is going to type in the phone number that they prefer you to call. That might not be the number that was registered with their account. This could be a business line, an office line, a cell phone, a spouse's phone number, etc. So it gives you a little more of a preferred contact method, but outside of just the account number that's registered with your account, which again, very good numbers, but you do get a little more of a high intent here when you order a silver tier. You also get the beneficiary name, the type of funeral service they requested, whether it's a traditional burial, cremation, etc. And then again, these same three data points apply. Now, our most premier lead is called our platinum tier. Again, this includes everything in the silver and in the bronze, but now you're also going to get probably, which is arguably one of the most beneficial metrics, which is we include the budget for final expense insurance that that lead has submitted. So on the lead form, this prospect is going to actually include the budget that they're committing to or able to commit to pay for this insurance. So you'll get answers like $50 or $150 a month or just $275 or 180, etc., which is essentially a commitment from the person. And now you now are able to overcome the objection of either A, I can't afford it, or B, that costs too much because we built in the budget in the lead card, which just only helps drive more conversions. And that is also a really good reason why it is included only on our platinum tier lead. And then with that, you also get highest intent filtering. So we are using additional keywords and generation tactics to make sure that we are generating the highest intent lead, which means these leads have the highest intent to close. And we also provide priority fulfillment for our platinum tier lead. And then again, you get the same 3 data points down here. So all 3 of our tiers are very high intent, they're very high conversion, but you can see the data points that drive the difference from a bronze tier lead to a silver tier lead to then a platinum tier lead. So because these upper echelon of tiers require more focus, more spend, and they are harder to generate, those are of course increased tiers, and those are just only going to help you guys as agents. And I'll get into kind of the who and what's of these types of lead types in this tier rather later on in the demo once we log in. But to move on here, I want to kind of guide your attention towards the bottom here of this little um, excerpt here, which just shows that all these leads are eligible for replacement given it's a bad phone number, which typically is only for the bronze tier lead because this pulls from their registered account, which could be an old or disconnected number. If the number is disconnected for whatever reason, if we didn't catch it when running the DNC list, even to know it could be listed on there as an active number, maybe that line is disconnected, they're out of country, they didn't pay their phone bill, whatever the case might be, if it's disconnected for any reason, it's eligible for replacement. Incomplete addresses, so if they forgot a unit number, if they forgot a city or a zip code, anything that would render an address to be incomplete, we of course will replace those for you guys at no cost. And then for final expense, obviously under 40 and over 81, those are eligible for replacement as well, given the fact that most final expense carriers do not offer final expense products to ages 40 and under or 81 and above. Now, the next and last section on this page is our pricing. So our bronze, silver, and platinum pricing, which you guys can see here, this applies to all 50 states for our statewide final expense orders. We then have our 3 tiers for county-specific final expense orders. And then last but not least, our Medicare DSNP, otherwise known as DSNP leads. We do not offer a bronze, silver, or platinum tier just due to the nature of the generating of the lead. We offer a county-specific and a statewide. So you can order in any county in any state or multiple counties in any state. So that is the Medicare breakdown here. And then again, just to make sure you guys don't miss it, first 10 is the code you would put in at checkout for 10% off your first order. Then scheduling a demo, if we go back to the homepage here, you can schedule it here, either or brings you to the same page. If I schedule your demo, clicking this link, it will bring you to our Calendly page. And again, these are free 30-minute sessions. You can ask any questions, any customizations, anything within reason we're able to help you with in this 30 minutes. You can schedule multiple of them if needed, so there's no limit to that. Heading back to our page, sign in and sign up, just like your typical software products here. You can sign in if you're an existing user or sign up if you are a not existing or first-time customer. So click sign up, you type in your name and email. If you already have an account, it's just going to let you know, hey, this account is already registered, which you would then go to the sign-in page, and this will take you to your dashboard. So this is a very user-friendly interface here, and I'll do a high-level overview. You're going to see, of course, any active orders that you have. An active order is an order that is currently being processed and leads are being delivered to. Once that order is completed and you've received, let's say, 30 out of 30 leads, your active orders will then reset back to 0 because it is no longer active, it has been fulfilled. You also get to see how many leads you have ordered in totality right here. And then probably one of the bigger, most important boxes on this page is the conversion rate. So this box we made sure we wanted to include on the dashboard just as a 10,000 foot perspective of how you're actually converting these leads. And this is going to be based on your own dispositions that you are marking when you're ordering these leads. So this could just stay zero if you never use it, but we bring much more value to your business and performance and capabilities of converting more leads by offering these sorts of metrics that you can track internally instead of having to use Google Sheets and write things down by hand and all that kind of stuff. Now, my favorite section here is the performance snapshot. So as I mentioned, this emulates the same snapshot that was on our homepage. Now this shows you the last 30 days of data. It's going to show you your average cost per lead. That's going to be the cost you are spending per lead. This only will really change if you are purchasing different lead tiers, so a bronze, silver, or gold in different quantities and then in different states or geographies. So of course, your average cost per lead won't only stay fixed as one number, depending on the variety of leads you order. We want to make sure that you guys know exactly what your average cost per lead is. And then we do indicate with this little triangle next to each of these boxes here, if that number is trending up or trending down. So if your cost per lead is going up, maybe you're purchasing greater volume or different tiers. And then if it's going down, maybe you're purchasing a lesser tier or less volume. So just kind of gives you a little overview there of the last 30 days of your business. We also include your set to close ratio. So how many appointments are you setting? And of those appointments set, how many are you actually closing and submitting applications on that are being issued and paid with the carrier? It's another very, very important metric that I don't know of any other vendor that offers that, but we want to make sure that you guys have access to the most premier features to ensure you're converting the most leads. The last two here on the performance snapshot is your average cost per acquisition, or CPA. That's essentially going to show how many of your leads or how many leads does it take for you to purchase that you're actually going to convert. So in simple terms, if your cost per lead was $10 per lead and you're closing every fourth lead that you purchase, that means you buy one lead for $10, so your cost per lead is 10, and your cost per acquisition, if it takes you 4 leads to convert to a sale, it's $40 in terms of your acquisition cost. This is probably the most important metric of any lead vendor and any agent and agency in existence that you need to be tracking, because if you only know your cost per lead, you're never going to understand how efficient and how productive you are and what your true performance is and where you have room to increase at. So in this case, your cost per acquisition is not only going to show you how much you're paying per lead, we want you to know exactly how many leads it requires you on average to get a sale. And then last but not least, another cool metric is we show your average premium. So this is going to be input here on your leads tab when we get to it, and you'll be able to track your average premium or in other words, your average sale. So if someone's paying $100 per month, their premium is $1,200 per year. You'll put in 1,200, and then as you track more and more data, you would just see your averages here. Of course, you're going to have your recent orders. It's going to show you how many leads. This is a test order, which is why I show 0. How many leads did you order? What was the date? And then if it's paid, not paid, delivering, whatever your status is. If you can go to your leads tab and view your orders either here on this dashboard menu. You can do the view all orders right here, or you can click view all orders here. So again, all 3 areas will take you to your orders page. Now this is a test order, of course, but it's going to show the order ID for that order. It's going to show you the amount that you paid. This is a cool little feature we offer. It's going to show you how many leads has been delivered out of your total order. So if you ordered 50 leads and you've received 20 of them, this will show 20 out of 50. And then we also have a cool little progress bar down here. So once you get, 10 out of 50 orders, the progress will show here. When it's 25 out of 50, it'll show here. And then when it's fully fulfilled, it will be here. And your status will show paid or not paid. And then we also include the date and time of that order. So however many leads have been delivered out of your order, it will reflect here in the progress bar. Then the leads tab. Actually, one more thing I want to mention here. For those of you who might have multiple accounts because you're with an agency or whatever the reason might be, we also make sure to show you persisting on each of these pages which account you're logged into, just so there's no confusion. And then we go to the leads tab here. So probably the most important tab outside of your dashboard. It's going to show you your lead, the name of that lead, the phone number. If you're on Google Chrome, we've already enabled this, so we recommend that you go to your settings and enable it on your end, which essentially allows click to call. So whatever the phone number is for that lead, you can simply just click this button right here, this little phone icon, and it will actually call that lead using Google Voice. So really helpful there, so you can kind of keep everything on one system here. You can change your disposition, so it'll always default to not contacted. It'll stay not contacted until you change it to one of the following, either A, a bad number, if you need to request a replacement, You can change the lead to deceased if that lead is no longer alive. You can change the disposition to appointment set, which is where we want most of the leads to go to in their first stage. You can also change it to lost opportunity if for whatever reason you didn't sell them, you couldn't set the appointment, or any of those various reasons that would result in you losing the opportunity entirely. And then of course the best one, which we have, is sold. So 5 dispositions here, or 6 dispositions here: not contacted, bad number, deceased, appointment set, lost opportunity, and then sold. And you probably noticed when I selected sold as the disposition, the premium box opened up. So you can use this little arrow here to go up or down, or you can just manually type in whatever the premium was for that sale. And this again persists, which means it saves in your our internal database. So all of this saves into your system, and no matter what device you log into, all of your data will stay the same. Again, change it to whatever you want, whatever the lead type might be, and then you change your disposition accordingly. Now you're probably thinking, hey, well, where do I get the rest of that information from? Great question. Just simply click on the name of the lead. Now, of course, these are test leads, but you just click on whatever the name of that lead is. It's going to show you all their contact information: name, phone, and email, the order details, the type of lead, which is the vertical, so final expense, the tier that you ordered, the location. If it was a state order, it'll just show the state. If you ordered from a state and a county, it'll show both here. And if there's multiple counties, that list will just continue to run on. It'll show your cost per lead for that order, as well as some performance stuff down here. So your disposition status, the premium, and the cost per acquisition. And then we also show the timeline. This is one of those competitive market or competitive features that we offer that separates us from other vendors in this market, which is that we show both when that lead was delivered to you, when you set the appointment, and when you sold that lead. This is a really good, helpful overview to say how efficient are you and what is the timeline that you are typically going to experience from purchasing a lead, it being delivered, and then you setting the appointment and selling it. This really just helps you kind of judge and measure and plan accordingly for future orders. We want you guys to see how efficient you're being. So, of course, this lead was delivered to this platform on the 14th. The person set the appointment on the 15th, and then they sold it 2 days later on the 17th. Now, heading back to the leads tab here, every lead that you have will be stored here. Again, you also get that emailed to you and texted to you. Now, before we jump into ordering leads and running quotes, I am going to jump into the last tab here on the side panel of your dashboard, which is your profile. So this is really important here. This is what's going to show not only where your data is stored, but this actually plays a part in your orders. So your name will go here, your phone number goes here. This agent portrait URL is a very unique feature that we offer, which is you can go on Google and just type in public portrait URL and click any of the first options that show up. And essentially you just upload a picture of yourself, like a headshot, and then you click save. And then it's going to save that publicly and give you a display link. You just take that link and copy it here. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But when you paste it here and then you save it to your profile, it's going to then use that in outbound prospect messages when we send agent portraits. Now, this is a massive competitive edge you get over any other vendor. This means that when that prospect goes online and they're filling out a request for an insurance plan or an insurance quote and they click submit, not only is that information being delivered to you as the agent or the user here in our RiseGen Leads platform, but your information, your name, your number, and your headshot is going to be then sent via message back to that prospect. So that prospect is going to get notified instantaneously on their phone or email of your name, your number, and a picture of you, so they know who's calling, the number that you're going to be calling from, and what you look like. Now, this is a competitive edge that we offer because this helps build rapport with your prospects before you even get them on the phone. Now you get them on the phone, they already expected you to be calling. They have a picture of you and they know that your number is going to be calling. And then in addition to that, you're leading that call with a security answer to the question that was asked to them, whether it's their favorite color, their favorite hobby, their favorite restaurant. So right off the bat, within the first 10 seconds of this phone call, you are a trusted agent and a trusted source for this individual. And then you'll notice here towards the bottom, we also have a little default lead state box here. And this dropdown, of course, lets you select any state out of all 50 states. So let's say you select Florida as your default state. Again, anytime you make a change in this profile, make sure that you guys are clicking Save Profile, otherwise it will not save. And when you select your default lead state, that is going to be the state that your orders panel, when we get to that here in a moment, will always default to. So you either A, don't accidentally place an order in the wrong state, or if you forget to select a state, we at least have the default one that you set in the beginning. Last two tabs here is your email tab. Of course, it'll show your current email address. Whatever one you update, just put in your new email and confirm it here, and then click update email. Some questions that some people may ask: does this affect any order history? It does not. We update your account ID, which is in our backend database. So your email is more of a display to help you log in and how we tie orders to you, but our backend system uses an account ID that's registered when you create an account. So no worries there if you ever need to change your email. And then of course the security tab here helps you with a password update if for whatever reason you want to change it. Again, make sure to click update password at the end. Now, we'll go back to the dashboard here. Before I jump into the order leads page, which you can get to from either here, here, or here, you may notice this little box that says get quote. Now, I want to make it very clear, we are not a quoting system. We are not a quoting software. We are a exclusive lead provider and vendor for both final expense and Medicare leads. But we do have some preferred integrations with some pretty well-known companies. So if you click this is going to be a global link right now if you have not logged in before. So when I click get quote, if you notice here briefly, when you're on the home page or you are not logged in, that is nowhere to be found because again, we are not a quoting software. We are a lead vendor and only a lead vendor. But we want to make sure that you guys have access to the most premier features that allows you to convert at the highest rate possible. So by clicking get quote, we want to make sure that everything's included all in one. You have access to our preferred partner, which is FEX Quotes or FEX Quotes, which stands for Final Expense Quotes, where you have access to over 300 carriers that you can quote. And as you can see here, these are instant quotes for non-medical and no exam whole life products. Well over 300 carriers for any ages between 0 and 89. Now, once you create an account and sign in, this dashboard will look a little different. When you click this get quote button, it'll bring you to your actual account, which you'll kind of see emulates here in this little photo where you put in the client's information, and then you can not only log into our account and order leads that are delivered to you in real time, and you can mark their dispositions here in the leads page, but you can also run real-time quotes so you can close more deals more consistently all in one. So that is one of the premier features that we offer outside of everything else that I've uncovered or have covered so far. Now we will head over to the dashboard and you can go again, click order leads here. You can go here or you can go here. I know it's kind of a lot of bouncing around, but I want you guys to see that no matter which one of those you click, you will end up right here on the order leads tab. So again, we do a quick little lead quality breakdown. So again, you guys know not just the price, but what you're actually getting with each order. And we kind of condense it so you just see the actual information and data points that are delivered. But we did include a little overarching statement for each tier to help guide you a little more if you're a little confused on what tier that you want. So if you kind of look at the bottom of each of these cards here, it'll just have uh, the preferred state that you're wanting to purchase in. So what that means is if you're in the state of business where you're kind of just looking to dial volume and you want to maybe test some new markets, so you want a little bit of a cheaper cost per lead, but you still want very high intent and quality leads, you're probably going to be best ordering our bronze tier. If you're ready to spend a little bit more money, you want higher intent and better contact accuracy because of that manually typed phone number, it'll probably be best if you order our silver tier. And if you guys are more experienced, you're a closer, you know that you can convert, you're confident. We have that here. Best for closers who value their time over volume. So typically, when you first start off in this business, you either have a lot of time or a lot of money. Early on, most agents and agencies have more time than they do money that they want to spend. So because of that, we offer 3 different tiers to fit whatever state of business that you are in. Then you scroll down, very, very simple. Our order leads tab here, when you actually place your orders and launch your campaigns, is super incredibly easy interface. You have your step 1, which we mentioned on the beginning of this call, which is you're picking the lead type. Is that final expense or is that Medicare? Now, depending on what lead type you're on, you will notice the box here changes or the information panel changes when I switch to Medicare. Of course, those 3 tiers go away, but we show you exactly what you get with each order, whether it's statewide or county specific. So for statewide and county specific Medicare orders, prospects are educated on additional benefits available on specific Medicare Advantage plans. Now, like I mentioned earlier, DSNP, which is more commonly referred to as just DSNP, it stands for Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan. The reason that they're dual eligible is this is a type of Medicare Advantage plan, which is referred to as Part C, but it's designed for people who qualify for both Medicare and Medicaid. Again, that's why they are dual eligible, hence the acronym DSNP or DSNP. We tell you which benefit that specifically pique that prospect's interest. You can, of course, choose the state that you want the lead from. Same thing applies as final expense. They are exclusive 100% and they are delivered in real time. We do encourage every lead to call you directly, which is why we include your name, number, and portrait. And then, of course, you have all of these data points here. One key thing I want to mention for all of our leads, your name is shown, your name is shown 6 times at 6 separate points throughout this entire order form, because you have to understand that when you place an order, then your campaign is launched. So we create those campaigns specifically customized to you. So this prospect is seeing your name before they even click submit and then throughout the form submission process. So again, they're familiar with you before you even get them on the phone. Now, again, you click final expense, you have your tier selection here, so bronze, silver, or platinum. If you want statewide, you would leave it as statewide and just select from the drop-down whatever state you want to order from. If you click county specific, you'll notice that the state drop-down stays. You can pick whatever state you want to order from, and then you would just simply type in here the counties that you want. Now, the only thing I want to mention here, I'll go to, let's say, Ohio or Florida, whatever one I want to select. It says counties and then it says comma separated. So just make sure that you're typing in, let's say, Palm Beach County you want to order from, you want to order from Broward County, and you want to order from, let's say, Miami-Dade County. Just put a comma between each county so we know that those are all separate counties. Sometimes in Florida, like there's counties like Miami-Dade, which is like hyphenated, so Miami-Dade. We don't want the system to think that that is a separate county. Miami and Dade, we want to make sure that we know it is one county. So as long as you have a comma between each county, you're good to go. And then again, if you select Medicare, the tier goes away because we only offer DSNP leads as of now. And then same thing for county specific and statewide. You would just select the proper state or counties. And then we have a minimum order threshold of 20. So you have to order at least 20 leads. This not only helps us on our end, making sure that we're being efficient with all of our campaigns, but there should be no order you place for less than 20, regardless of which vendor you use, even if it's not us, because 5 leads or 10 leads is just simply not enough data and volume for you to see any sort of real results anyway. So we don't want people to come on here and buy 3 leads and then wonder why none of the 3 converted. It's like, well, you only bought 3 leads and you called them 3 times and that was it. So we make sure that we not only offer all those competitive features that no other vendors offer, but we want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. So if you want to select final expense and order some bronze statewide leads, you'll notice here we have a little plus and minus key token, or a little key here rather, not a token. And you just click, if you want to buy more than 20, just click 5 in increments of 5, as many as you want. If you want to buy 60 leads, whatever you guys want to purchase here, there's just a minimum order of 20. Now if you want to order like 22 or 24 or 27 or a number that is not in increments of 5, just shoot me an email. As long as it's not all the time, I don't mind to help you guys out with that, but we try to keep it in increments of 5, again, just to make it easier on our backend system in terms of generation, so we can extend a lot of our discounts that we get over to you guys. And we also want to make sure that you guys are setting yourself up for success by ordering the right volume to begin with. So you'll notice, like I mentioned, on our dashboard here, if I sign out and go to our pricing page, we offer really custom pricing, really good cost per lead. And the way that we do that is by offering a true exclusive lead that is never reshared. So instead of us retaining those additional profits and charging you guys different fees and commissions on the back end, we just pass those discounts along to you. So you can have a very cheap cost per lead that's still very effective. Or if you guys are closers and experienced and you're ready for the county specific platinum leads, maybe you're working more locally, because again, our leads can be worked over the phone. If you guys do telesales, and they can be worked face-to-face if you want to call our leads and set appointments face-to-face. That's why we have designed all of our features to accommodate both different types of business models. So again, last but not least, logging in. This is your overview. You have your overview of your page, which is just your dashboard, all the orders you've placed, your leads, your profile. You can go check some quotes here when you're ready to sell. You can order leads, your dashboard, again, another access to your account tab. And then of course, when you're done, you can just stay logged in or sign out. That is the official demo of the RiseGen Leads platform. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, if you forgot what the coupon code was, any of those questions at all, feel free to look in the description box below. I have the link to both our website, which as you can see here is just risegenleads.com or www.risegenleads.com. Either of those URLs will bring you right to our platform here, or just type in RiseGen Leads on Google and it'll take you to the same place. Last but not least, our support email is also in the description box below, which is just support@risegenleads.com. Again, that is support@risegenleads.com. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, you want any customizations, or need help placing your first order, send me an email and we will take care of you guys as soon as possible. Thank you again for watching. This was the RiseGen Leads demo as of January 2026.